The mirror had always been there, long and narrow, mounted along the hallway just before the bedroom door, a simple pane framed in a thin strip of metal, neither ornate nor old, a functional piece meant for one last glance before leaving for work or bed. He'd passed it 1,000 times without thinking, catching glimpses of his coat, the back of his head, his posture as he walked, always natural, always synchronous. It never felt significant. Just another surface in the apartment. Just another reflection. But then came the night he caught it moving before he did. It was a subtle thing at first, so slight, he almost missed it. He had gotten up late, around 2 a.m., too warm under the blankets, throat dry, drifting toward the kitchen in the half-light. The hallway was dark but familiar. He moved out of habit, slow but steady, passing the mirror with his eyes already set on the door beyond. And just before he entered its view, just as his shoulder should have aligned with the frame, he saw it, his reflection already there, a full second early, eyes meeting his before he had arrived. He stopped, blinked, stepped back. The figure in the mirror did not recoil or hesitate. It simply matched him as it should. The delay was gone. Everything was normal again. He stood for a minute longer, watching his own expression twist into confusion, wondering if he had imagined it. Eventually he shook his head, retrieved his water, and returned to bed. But he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the timing. The way the mirror had shown him before he was truly present, like it had anticipated him, like it had remembered him from some earlier repetition. He told himself it was nothing, a trick of light, a tired mind. These things happened. You saw things in the dark. Still, the next morning, he slowed slightly as he passed the hallway. He didn't look directly, just enough to register motion in the edge of his vision. Everything behaved as it should. No delay. No anticipation. Just reflection. But the next night, it happened again. He approached the mirror, barefoot, the apartment silent, and just before his foot crossed the halfway point of the hallway, he saw himself already there. Not walking. Already still. Standing square in front of the glass, facing him directly, hands at his sides. He stopped. So did the figure. It was only then that it began to mimic him, just slightly behind, as though catching up. The hair on his arms rose. A cold sensation bloomed across the back of his neck. He didn't move for nearly 2 minutes, his own gaze fixed on the reflection, waiting for a flaw, a twitch, something off. But nothing came. The moment had passed. The mirror had resumed its role. But now it was different. Each night that followed, the effect became more pronounced. Sometimes the reflection would be ahead by a full 2 or 3 seconds, already walking before he stepped into motion. Other times, he'd catch it frozen in place while he still approached, only sinking after he stopped moving. There were nights when he thought it was closer to the glass than he was, though the hallway had not changed. No camera, no recording could capture it. Every video he tried to take showed only perfect synchronicity, even when he was sure he'd witnessed the delay with his own eyes. He tried adjusting his behavior. Walking faster. Slower. Darting past without looking. But the mirror always reacted as if it knew what he was trying. As if it adapted. On some nights, he would glance at it suddenly from across the room, hoping to catch it off guard, and see the reflection already facing him, waiting. Eventually, he started avoiding it. He turned his head as he passed, used the bathroom mirror instead, left lights on in the hallway at all hours. But even without looking, he could feel it, the presence of that pale, silent double, always one breath too early, always ready. When he turned his back on it, the sensation didn't leave. It pressed between his shoulder blades, a heavy attention, like being watched not through eyes but through the shape of the room itself. Then came the night when he found the mirror smudged. Just a small mark at first, like an oily fingerprint pressed flat against the surface, low and off-center, as if a hand had touched it from inside. He tried to clean it, but the smear reappeared the next day, this time higher, more defined, the ridges of the fingerprint visible if he looked closely. He hadn't touched the mirror. He hadn't even looked into it. And yet, the smudges kept returning. Multiplying. Changing position. He began to suspect the reflection wasn't merely out of sync. It was becoming separate.